You're listening to Galaxy of Film. All right, and welcome back to the brand episode of Galaxy of Film. I'm, of course, your host, Max, and this week I am joined by none other than the Autograph King himself, our Director of Fan Relations here at Galaxy of Film, Shamim. How are you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. Just relaxed, bro, and ready to bust Scott's balls with Rem Lezar. Yeah.
That's a hell of an introduction, man. That's a hell of an introduction.
Yeah.
That was not the that got me here, by the way.
Well, for our audience, obviously we have another special guest here this week. We got Scott Zakarin. How are you doing, man?
You bought that I was 30 years old.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
Welcome to Galaxy of Film, Scott. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your career. You're a producer, you're a director, you're a writer. You've worked on a couple other things as well, man.
Well, I am one of the most successful people you'll ever know, which means that I am a very lucky man with a wonderful wife and two wonderful kids. Now, what was the question? The thing is like, it's hard to tell somebody about your career. Usually that's why she comes on this thing with me.
Okay, so Scott's career started with Jackar's worst film ever made. He hates Jacker with passion. So
I never
Jacker
said that. I said I hate it.
You said it wasn't that good of a
It's
film
not that good either. Yeah,
and
no,
then so basically Scott's big three films are Rem Lezar, The Autograph King, Comic Book the Movie, the Stan Lee documentary, Splat Attack with William Shatner.
Mm-hmm.
That was a
These
fun
are the top
film.
three. These are the top three.
Those are the 5 best films. He was 6 films, and he's also
I don't even know what the film was. I just know you said.
So he's also a Webby Award winner back in 1995-96.
Right, and I'm only 30.
Yeah. So what is the secret of winning the Webby Award in your past experience?
I believe you have the people you work with start the Webby Awards.
There you go.
That when the spot.com was that's what broke new media wise. It was the first web series, which has been written about, so I don't mind saying that. And that sort of got me into doing all sorts of entertainment kind of interactive projects. So the things that Shamim is talking about, because it's in his world, are the documentaries that I've made, or the the things that are around sci-fi and fandom, which I believe is part of your isn't that part of the theme of your show?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Obviously we're very Star Wars influenced here, but pop culture in general, and kind of everything Shamim's into, more or less. But it's
right. Shamim is right now what I'm into. Right now, Shamim, my favorite. Honestly, right now I bet on this kid. He is what I'm into. That's
6
what I got.
months.
Yeah, man.
3 months and we have our baby, which is the movie.
Goodness.
Yeah, The Autograph King is going to be an interesting film. So back to Scott. Scott,
No, we're good. We're good. We don't need any more.
All right, Max.
Yeah.
I was about to say, it's great to get you on here, Scott. We've been talking about doing this episode for quite some time now. Obviously there's a project that's in the works that Shamim, you and I have talked about quite a bit here before. We discussed kind of a bit more as well when we had Andrew Nelson on a few weeks ago. But The Autograph King, which is a movie about you, Shamim, and Scott, you're directing this piece, which is incredible to see. Obviously the show reel's been out for a bit. Listeners, that link is in the description down below. It's been in our bio for quite a bit now, so check it out if you haven't already. But Scott, just a little bit about this piece. What is the project here in mind? What is your pitch for this?
For the Autograph King.
Correct. What's the vision in mind you have for this, for our listeners who aren't aware of this project?
Got it. The vision is to have a lot of fun with a guy people would often think of as disabled. He has disabilities, but he is freaking awesome. He's hilarious. He's inspiring. He's maddening. He would absolutely make me nuts, man. And he's passionate. I love the fact that he loves autographs, and not because of the autographs, but because of the moment,
the
relationships. And I love the fact that he's overcome all this stuff. And he also nagged the hell out of me on this. He was constantly, because he knew I wanted to make a documentary. And just, I don't know, you have that relationship with Shamim, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I get like 1,000 texts a day. Yeah.
Right. And what do you do when you get them?
I try to respond the best I can, man.
Does he drop you little, oh, guess what? Wow. And it's like, there's some anniversary of something.
It's like we're having the same conversation here. Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. Our editor, Aaron, also, I mean, this is the truth. Shamim is a producer on the movie as well. And he really delivered. He delivered our editor. He delivered you as a friend and partner in some way. The list goes on. And sometimes he drew, it was a little, what am I going to say, Shamim? What do you think the best thing you did as a producer?
Listen to the director. Anything he has to say, even if I don't like it. It's the best for the film.
When you see the film, you realize there's no truth to that. But anyway, so that's we're in post-production now. We have buried in footage, really, really a lot of wonderful stuff. Now we got to figure out and find the movie in it. But I know one thing, it's going to be joyful, and it's going to be inspiring, and it's going to be very entertaining, because my man Shamim there is very entertaining, which is how he talked me into doing this.
That was a very nice pitch meeting I had.
Yeah, man, that's wonderful to hear.
Yeah,
so basically the pitch meeting went like this. Scott came up for the Hollywood show July of 2022. We happened to have lunch with RJ from Breaking Bad.
Oh, you sent me pictures of this day, man. You just
So, and then we're hanging out with Thomas and Nicholas.
But that's not
Sebastian was there, and then I gave this news pitch to him, and then here we are, a year later, 6 months later, editing. This film is almost longer than Titanic. You think, Scott?
Yeah, no, we're going to do the special cut. It's going to be longer than Watchmen.
There you go. That's crazy,
so
man.
you think the runtime of this film is going to be longer than Titanic?
I think it's going to be about 9 hours.
Only the best, man. Only the best.
I mean, what can I tell you? If they don't like my movie, screw them.
I love that, man. Have that
9 hours
attitude. You gotta have the Uwe attitude. I love that.
Yeah.
Well, guys, before we go ahead and discuss our film for the week here, we are discussing, of course, one of your movies, Scott, creating Rem Lezar, which is came out in what, 89, I believe.
Yes, I made it about 89. Came out in 89. Yeah.
Very nice, very nice.
Late 80s.
Back before I was 30.
Your film, Scott, was actually in the same ballpark release as Indiana Jones, The Crusader,
just before
UHF, and
it was really, really early, and it was Disney hadn't even made their deal yet for Blockbuster.
Oh wow!
So there's very few kids' films. So because of that, this musical just became like kids grew up with it, and that's the video they watched over and over and over. Just like my kids watched You Got a Friend in Me from Toy Story. So that's why there's such a
95.
interest. Now, the second reason why there's a lot of interest is because it is maligned for its weak spots. Let's call. So I get it. And Red Letter Media, Vinny Vinesauce, and Found Footage Festival all did a really good job in helping bring Rem back to life. Now that happened, I tried to hide from that until Jack Mulcahy, who plays Rem Lezar, I thought he was going to be upset after. Have you seen the Red Letter Media piece?
I have not, no.
It is pretty funny, and I didn't want to tell Jack about it because I thought he'd be upset as an actor. Finally, I had to say, Jack, and he goes, "Yeah, that was great. I loved it." Then Jack spent a lot of time trying to talk me into releasing Rem Lezar.
Oh, like for the Blu-ray release coming out.
Yeah, for the
very nice, very nice, man.
It was, and then
I would never have done it. I hid this. There were people I knew that knew my career left, right, and center, and have no idea.
Corey's one of them. Corey's like the biggest.
Corey, the only thing I did with Corey is Rem Lezar. That's all he cared.
Goodness, man.
Hey, man.
Well, here we are bringing spotlight to the picture for you this time. You know, we're right on blast with your portfolio.
Sorry,
Scott was 20. He did this in 81, starting at age 23. He started this film.
Yeah, no, I was 23, and then I did my next film that almost nobody knows about, which is called The Gifted, which I feature. Did you know, Shamim? Did you know about that?
I don't think it's even on any format.
It is. It's in my garage. It's in my storage.
Okay, we gotta go grab that and make copies of it. Let Corey see that.
No, I didn't hate that movie nearly as much as I hated Jekyll.
Oh goodness, man! You gotta watch it, Jekyll. Now you guys are hyping it
up.
Oh,
see, that's what happens. That's what I sit there. I mention this movie that really is bad. And by the way, everybody did a good job except me. It was my script. I directed it. Every actors were terrific. They came out there. DP was good. I made a huge mistake. And as a filmmaker I was running a business at the same time. And then it came up that I was also able to direct this movie. My schedule is around shooting it, but my pre-production was for shit. And when I walked on the set, I already lost. When I look back at it, I go, I already lost. I just went and wasted my time. And, you know, it was all meant to be a good project. I just blew it.
You'll have to do that as a remake then, man, after The Autograph King or Jekyll 2.
Rem 2. Rem 2.
Well, Rem 2 is a possibility.
Oh, really? Is this the inside scoop?
No, well, let me put it another way. And I don't know if I'm going to get haters, but I'm not that popular anyway. Doing Rem now is, compared to last year, is remarkably more possible.
Oh.
Think about it.
Especially now because you get the new audience coming up from the Blu-ray release.
Man. It is like I described Rem Lezar. I have pictures that I if you look at the Rem Lezar Clubhouse, I described Rem Lezar, but I asked, you know, for ChatGPT, one of these programs. You don't talk about that on the show.
Say again?
You don't talk about that on the show.
What do you mean? Like
how AI is gonna
we've had a couple discussions about it. It just depends on who we have and what the episode is. We kind of went into detail about that recently, discussing Gareth Edwards, the creator, because that movie's all about AI taking over and whatnot.
Right.
So it just depends on what we got going on, you know, how it ties into it.
I guess the question is if we did Rem Lezar 2. And problem is that there's nobody, you can't replace Jack Mulcahy as Rem Lezar.
Right.
So if we used AI, and we still write the songs, you know, and Jack sings and all that, everything's the same, but the film work is either an animated version. I mean, it's amazing what's going on that stuff. Anyway, I should stop because that's your show. And I didn't know.
It's so good.
So basically,
go ahead, Shamim. Okay, I'm done. You take over.
Okay, so Scott is let's see how will we get Jack back in the suit again after all these years?
That's the beauty of it. First of all, Jack has a better physique now at 70 years old or whatever he is. I hope I didn't get his age wrong because probably
89.
He's 89. Right, Jack's about 89. Jack,
No. So the film was 89.
I'll be off
So
guard
Jack
for a
would have
minute.
but
So
So
that
you get him in the costume. He's
meeting-
in great shape, first of all. Second
Mhm.
of all, the whole idea is you build the universe in AI. You work and you say, you know what, Avengers, you did it.
Oh, yeah. It's just CGIing everything, yeah.
We could do. Look, I'm not afraid of the new tools. I actually embrace them. I always do.
Yeah, Scott was playing with him like 3 days ago.
I can't. No, I continue to play it. I'm on crack now with AI.
That's the spirit.
I
That's the
love
George
things-
Lucas spirit.
I love things that you can turn around and you can craft it first and you can use it, figure out how to tell the stories, and sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong, but that's AI has. Here's the three things that I think my own career that influenced life. One is video camera. Came out when I was, a teenager. That blew my mind that I could make movies that I could take. It blew my mind. Second was the internet. Right. Well, as soon as I was the Spot and my other shows were on the internet. When I saw the internet, I'm like, oh my God. Right. The third thing that I felt now. Sorry, I'm getting a little preachy.
So and then there's you like showed Stan the internet. You showed a lot of celebrities the internet.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. You want to see that picture? I've never shown this picture because I'm afraid it'll get shared on the internet.
Oh, another inside scoop, man! Exciting.
Yeah, this is. Let me see. Get one with me.
It's on your desk.
Yeah,
in your drawer.
So Stanley did. A friend of his was explaining the internet. He said, "You and Scott Zakarin should get together," and so we did. And this is Stan learning the internet for the first time.
Oh wow!
What year was that?
And here is
so that was like 96. Got that photo.
Yeah, this is. Oh, here it is. This is a better one. This is a better one. You could see Stan basically being taught how to do it.
That's incredible, man! Oh my gosh!
And this is, but do not tell anybody if you're going to do it. Here, look at that one.
That is insane! Holy crap!
So
and we were explaining, we should call it the web series. I said, Stan, I did that already. Oh, good idea.
That's awesome, man. That's absolutely incredible.
So Scott,
but by the way, seriously, that is something I've never put anywhere near online. And I sent it to one friend, and I basically, the pretty girl who's in the front.
Sure.
And she's like, oh, can I post this? I'm like, absolutely not. She's like, come on. I know it's so special. It's Stan Lee.
So Scott.
Yeah.
So Max,
here's the book that Shamim wanted to steal from me.
Oh.
He found this in my closet.
Oh, that's pretty cool, though, man. That's pretty cool.
It's autographed to me, but Shamim decided I should give it to him.
So Scott, Max saw you worked for Playboy. What did you do there?
Oh boy, Shimmy, that is terrible. You asked me this question last night.
When Max was high.
Before we go ahead and dive into Playboy,
I never worked for Playboy. What?
Before we dive into all that, guys, let's go ahead and take a quick little break. Go over our stream of the week, brought to you by our graphic designer Mason this week, actually from MC Media. We're actually going to go over our rating system in case you're new to the show, and got some other ads for you guys as well coming up. But stay tuned, because when we come back from our break, we're going to go ahead and start talking creating Rem Lezar. So we'll be right back, guys.
Oh, hi, Mark. on, Galaxy of Film listeners? Thank you for tuning in this week. My name is Mason Conrad, and I'm here to give you the stream of the week. So I travel a lot. I watched a lot of movies on planes. I watched Elvis. I watched Don't Worry, Darling. But one that has stuck out to me that I didn't watch on a plane recently anyway was Tetris. I watched it on Apple TV. It is streaming there. I'm a big gamer. Growing up, I played a lot of Nintendo, so all of that kind of stuff was really special to me at one point. It is such a creatively filmed movie, and the editing is so fun, the special effects. It is like, it screams Tetris, and it's obvious because the name, but it is definitely a really fun movie. Just a very unique story, the way it's told, about how the rights were acquired to Tetris back in the day. Even if you're not into games, it's one of those movies, it's just very good. It's got a captivating enough plot to keep anybody lured in. It's suspenseful, it's dramatic, and it's one hell of a story. So if you ever have time in your day, definitely check that out. That's it. See ya.
All right, guys, and we're back from our break. And that was, of course, our stream of the week brought to you by Mason from MC Media. But guys, it's time to go ahead and discuss Creating Rem Lezar. Scott, this is one of your earlier films, of course. A little bit of a recap for the synopsis of this film. Two kids, Zach and Ashley, are sort of misfits at school who don't really have any friends. Both these kids like to daydream and imagine they're in another world with their imaginary friend, Rem Lezar. Neither of these kids know each other, but once they meet in school, they realize they're meant to be friends because they share Rem Lezar. There's the evil Vorak, who is played by Scott as well. He sort of comes in and ruins the day for a bit. Rem and the gang have to stop him and get this medallion that's at the highest place. The gang then travels to New York City. We get a pretty cool song within this kind of sequence here going on, where the music kind of changes 3 times. We get the Rem Lezar rap, which is pretty awesome. They end up at the Twin Towers of all things. And then they realize the medallions are not at the top of the towers. The kids make Vorak turn good by telling them they love them, and Rem Lezar sends them home. But so what was the thought process with this film for you, Scott? Like, what made you want to go ahead and do like a children's musical for one of your first films?
I thought it would be cheap and easy.
Okay, and was it?
No, it was neither. It was very, very hard, and it was very rewarding. But it was not easy. It was not easy, and it ended up being much more expensive. Here's the problem. A lot of people think we shot this on video, which I do not get. I think it's because they watched the copies of the copies.
Sure.
We shot it on 16 millimeter. So when you do that, you are now film processing, transferring to 1 inch. I mean, there's so many costs. So like a third of our budget, if not more, was film and processing. So the idea was we were going to shoot it on video, and it was going to be a simple little thing, and it was going to be more for like 3-year-olds, and Mark was going to write songs, and I was going to go around as a clown, which was something I had done a lot of. No.
Okay.
Did I answer your question?
Yeah, by all means. So let me ask you this, kind of going back with the concept and creation of this piece. Where did the idea for the character of Rem Lezar come from? Like, obviously, this is a bit of a different superhero character. That's much different from our modern day, MCU stuff we're seeing or anything in the DCU. What was your head at when creating the character of Rem Lezar?
A sane superhero who is nonviolent.
Okay.
The idea was, and as a result, a lot of people thought that we were doing this for the church.
I can see it.
But no, it's the same simple model, love, respect, friendship. So, that corniness that I have now started to come through, and REM is rapid eye movement for sleep.
Okay.
Lezar just sounded cool. So, I was also like one of the things, if you ever notice that Jack Mulcahy bears a resemblance to 1950s Superman, George Reeves.
A little bit, yeah, I noticed that.
And I send him pictures sometimes that are mine, because they both have those great smiling eyes. So it's that kind of thing. So when I saw Jack, I do think there was a little bit of my childhood connecting. I was talking about this to somebody the other day. They're like, what did you think when you were making it? And I said, I kind of knew it was special. But I only really made one movie, so how would I know?
Sure.
How would I have something to compare it to? And looking back, there was something there. I mean, I could be corny and say it's because the medallion was infinite love, but I was doing, man. Think about it. I wrote songs for 3-year-olds. When I say I wrote songs, Mark wrote songs with the music for 3-year-olds as we wrote the lyrics together. Then we wrote ones that were for 12-year-olds. Then we just didn't know. We didn't come from that place. I had to have kids to realize how bad Rem Lezar was.
Goodness, man. And Shamim, when was the first time you watched Creating Rem Lezar?
6 months ago in my living room with Scott and my family. Basically, I wanted to watch it with Scott because he's the director, and Mom loved it, Chrissy loved it, Dad loved it, Grandma loved it, and there was actually behind the scenes too. If you want a physical copy, you got good, they did I think you did a commentary, didn't you, Scott?
Well, we did a documentary. That was what we spent. There's a 35-minute documentary about this whole subject because it was such a bizarre thing,
Sure.
And it's turned into such a bizarre thing. So it was a little documentary with me and Jack and the kid who played Zach.
That's cool.
Ashley's mom, and it's actually airing on USA Today, the television. Just the documentary, which is weird. They're not taking the movie; they're just taking the documentary.
It's still cool though, man. I'm glad you got everyone kind of back for that too. That was pretty neat. So, while doing that kind of documentary for the Blu-ray, how was everyone's reaction to coming back to a project like this years later? Were they all thrilled, or were they kind of like, "Why the hell?"
Jack was thrilled.
They were so happy. They were so excited. I have long interviews from each of them that I couldn't use in the documentary. But oh my God, like I said, when you're doing something that is, what's it about? Well, it's about love.
Yeah,
it's easy, and it does. It delivers on that. Now, all I was thinking of? Yes, that's all in my heart. But I just want to talk to kids, to little kids.
Sure.
I just didn't know how to do it with various ages, and I didn't know how to make a movie that well either at the time. Not that some people would say that's still.
This is a precursor to Barney, Scott, isn't it?
To Barney? Well, yes. The concept was to be the imaginary friend comes to life. So if two people have the same imaginary friend, how could the person be imaginary?
Right.
One's a dinosaur, one is a superhero.
Which one is which, Shamim?
And Jack.
Jack's the dinosaur?
That would be a very cool idea with Jack to have him writing Barney. Would that be interesting?
What is he doing? He's writing Barney?
Yeah, like Barney has a medallion. That would be an interesting AI.
So Rem Lezar is basically lassoing Barney?
No, basically like like a dragon. When you put how superheroes ride something, he can ride Barney with the medallion. That's an interesting AI.
Not the worst idea I ever heard.
Yeah, I mean, it works, I guess.
Okay, good. You like it? You like it? How much you got to invest?
Yeah, that part. That
was Ed Wood.
I bet the voice of Barney would go for this too. Bob West.
Still on that?
Yeah, he's still doing. Yeah. So basically, Scott, here's a question. Was Jack your friend in the beginning, or
no.
How did you?
He was a recommendation from somebody after looking at many, many, many actors to play the part.
Okay, interesting.
The actor have to be able to sing. He has to be strong and masculine, but he's also got to be sweet and non-threatening.
Sure.
Which I think because Jack was green. We'll do next time you do your interview. I'm going to talk over you.
So the thing is, who was the any big names that were big when you auditioned, or no?
Well, there was the band Wham. Also wanted to do it together.
Oh,
but
that's kind of cool.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, Jesus. I'm here for real for a second.
That isn't interesting. Like, as I was saying, I go, that would be cool.
Right. I mean, that'd be a nice twist. Well, let me ask you this real quick, Scott. This is totally off the wall from what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
But this is kind of something I've discussed before, specifically with another movie called New York Ninja that came out 2 years ago.
Okay.
I always find it really interesting, especially because I'm 23 or excuse me 24. Obviously, I was very very small during the events of this. Say again.
You said you were 34 before.
No, I wish, man.
This is not a good way to kick off a friendship. I gotta tell you. You're on my show. I'm gonna lie about my age.
There we go. That sounds like it's straight off at least. But obviously, when this event was going on, I was very young, so I don't really remember the event at all. But something that I've kind of been very fascinated about, well, finding some of these films and seeing it kind of reflect on the timepiece of this. Obviously, a big plot point of this film is going to New York and going to the Twin Towers to find these medallions. So, looking back while watching Rem Lezar now, what is that like? Because I find it so interesting to see any footage of the Twin Towers now.
Well, you're making it sound like it was just, oh yeah, look, the Twin Towers. No, it's far more upsetting. So Red Letter Media, I think, said that we found out that it was Rem Lezar responsible for 9/11, and somehow that he had red laser beams that shot out of his eyes that melted. This is the the legend. There's T-shirts and so forth. So the if you do listen to the dialogue, but the way I like to think of it is that I don't know, man. Anything I say is not going to sound right. But what I will say is that's what they say on the news. I can't tell you this, but what I will tell you is Borak's head was in the middle.
Yeah.
Spouting evil, and that's my head when it looked like this.
Mm-hmm.
Which is regular anyway. I noticed things didn't move, right? Ooh. So go ahead. You do the interview.
Goodness, man. I always think it's so interesting to see stuff like that, come up, obviously. But
so Shaneem, it is a unfortunate accident. I did know people over there, and I lived in New York, and it doesn't matter where I live, Anyway,
yeah.
I just want to bring the show down, and I figured talking about.
You're totally good. My apologies for bringing it up. I just think it's so interesting because that was a key point I brought up with New York Ninja.
No, man. It's like is the elephant in the room. I'd rather people bring it up.
Yeah, that's true too. But it's a piece of history, really. Like you're encapsulating and incorporating that into a plot too. It's kind of cool in a way. Still,
that's what I loved about Comic Book the Movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that in general, even though it's my movie, it was a whole bunch of people who made that movie. But it's a time capsule.
Yeah.
Have you seen Comic Book Movie ever?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Like it's literally it was the year of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
The MC universe hadn't even started. They were just sort of promoting it then.
Mm-hmm.
And that's right before like everything exploded. That's when Mark could walk around the convention and people were all excited to see him, but they weren't mobbing him.
Yeah, true, man. It's very true.
And he doesn't know the Star Wars stuff.
Now, Shameem, I'm curious, man. As a fan, what are some standout moments of Rem Lezar for you?
The good music, Jack's beautiful singing.
Mm-hmm. He said the only two things I didn't do myself, by the way.
and seeing Scott in the earliest CGI ever made.
Yes, I was first on that too. What do you know? I created CGI.
Wow.
I love it's like I could. You're so innocent.
Right. That's awesome.
Shameem, is that your mom?
Yeah.
Hi guys.
Hey. Welcome to Galaxy of Film, everybody. So, Scott, looking back real quick before we can go ahead and wrap up on Rem Lezar, where in your whole filmography and all the projects you've worked on, like where does Rem Lezar stand for you? Like looking back on, is this something you look fondly upon now that we have, this Blu-ray coming out for the anniversary? and you've had time to kind of embrace the history and the following that Rem Lezar has?
Yes, I have fallen in love with it again.
Awesome.
I attach it to what it was. And I actually, one of the great things was Mark Millet and I, really found each other again. And that was, we had a great working relationship. We just really worked well creatively.
That's awesome.
Mark wasn't in the entertainment business for all these years. And it's like, okay, man, let's do it. I know years have gone by. So Rem Lezar 2 coming to your imagination.
There you go. That's awesome, man. Let's go ahead and start talking a bit more about the Autograph King that's coming out next year. Obviously, you guys have been working very hard in this project, and we kind of discussed some about this earlier. But just kind of like a soft introduction for it, more or less. Now, Scott, how did you and Shamim, properly meet each other?
Probably it'll sound like a familiar story to you.
Okay.
Shamim sent me some stuff from Comic Book the Movie and spoke to me as if he knew me. And so I thought he did. He's like, oh yeah, Eric told me I should. Eric, another producer. So Shamim actually tracked me to being his friend. But then I fell in love.
Gonna go to Oscar.
That's Shamim's mom.
Yeah, right there.
Hey, Rose.
Hey.
Rose, you're
talking
live.
about the film now.
There's like 50,000 people watching you, Rose.
We're just talking about Rem Lezar again.
Oh, okay.
And the Autograph King on top of that.
Okay.
What did you think about Rem, Mother?
Shamim, we're not.
Yes,
you interviewing me?
No, this is a topic of Rem Lezar. Did you like the movie?
I love the movie.
There we go.
It was good.
Got
All
one.
right.
Shamim's mom, everybody.
By the way, he
Just go
does
audio
have
and then-
a lovely, wonderful family. And this is the reason why we can tell this story.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But keep telling us a bit more, Scott. You said Shamim was just kind of acting like he already knew you.
Oh yeah, so he's
So
driving
how
me.
do we even meet Scott?
So nobody
I
wanted
just
to
basically, I just found Scott. Like,
he said, hey, while we're driving Sasha down for college, we were dropping her off. He said, Mom, I created two lunch meetings. And I was like, with who? And it was Scott and this other guy. And we went and had a lunch, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
Mom, I got 2 business meetings. I'm like, business meetings? What are you talking about? We're talking like 8 years ago, maybe 7 years ago. Did you give it to him?
Well,
And
who
then,
knew?
so we showed up, and then 10 years later, 8 years later, all of a sudden we're talking to Scott. So I don't know what you guys were doing in the middle, but
so basically, we're trying to get my poster signed. It's that poster. It's all about that poster.
It's all about the poster, but it's all about you. In the end of the day,
Yeah.
the poster was kind of Shamim likes to do.
yeah. And then Scott was so nice. Like, he was like, come on, you want me? I have some shirts for you. Come on.
Oh my
come to
goodness.
house." So we're like walking
I have my
through his
closet.
house.
So what dog did Scott
And
have?
I'm just like thinking to myself, who does this? Right? I mean, like,
I
that
assumed
was
a lot of
so-
people.
Like, who? We don't even know who this guy is, and he was just so kind and just so friendly and just so, like, he took his time out of the day. It was not even a weekend; it was a work day, and he's having lunch with Shamim. It's like
And I think
Shamim
Eric
was
Middleman.
so Shamim was like 21 at the time.
no,
right?
2017, Mom. 2017.
Yeah, okay, 17.
27.
right?
I was
7 years
You're not the best with dates. It's not gonna be time.
23. It was sometime 7 years ago, whenever Sasha was going to school. And
So
we
that's
were driving her down.
2017. That was right
So-
after Comic-Con.
Yeah,
Matt,
okay,
can we
so
have your
that was
audience
23.
do a little quiz on?
I was
on
23.
Yeah, absolutely, you can go for it. That looks crisp too, man. You got it in the case and everything. Nice.
This is snagged off the internet for $1,400.
No, you actually
$1,400?
snagged it from Corey. snagged it from Corey.
$3,900.
His copy of Rem Lezar.
Price is going up.
Jesus.
How many were those?
$27 trillion.
Corey
Oh, yes, 3.
The fact that he had it, he didn't even know
That's
he
the
had
original
that.
box. Do you have the Blu-ray, Max?
I do not have the Blu-ray yet.
The hell?
I need to
Yeah, you
I need to get a copy, man. I know.
I'll
I know.
North
send
Carolina.
you.
That'd be awesome, man.
I'll
But
send
real
you.
quick as well. So now we've talked a
Chilling.
little bit more about some of your other projects, like comic book, the movie, and whatnot.
Yeah.
Oh,
You've
snap.
also worked on Roommates, obviously Jekyll. What made you want to go forward and create an entire documentary on Shamim specifically? You know, I know we kind of touched on this earlier a bit, but you've met him. What called to you besides him just harassing you? Like, what made you want to green light this?
Well, we do spend a lot of time getting attached to Shamim. He wheedles
Mhm.
in. Let's start with that. And then I started to. First, it was like, okay, he's needs a little bit of brotherly love, etc. Reality is, I didn't know that he has that all over the place.
Right.
I mean, Shamim's got a lot of people who are mentors to him, friends of people he's mentors to, men, women, older people, a llama.
Mhm.
He's very close to a llama.
Yeah, I know.
And if he's close to a llama, I mean, who am I to say? No, but so I was looking at the one of the autograph shows because I was interested in the idea of doing a documentary about people after their career was over.
Okay.
And really pop culture, so that was the place to go. And while we were there, we saw Shamim in action. And this guy, and he's helping people on one hand, he's meeting other people, and then he's like goes over to RJ Midi and says, "Hey, you want to have lunch with us?" And the kid comes, young man, excuse me. So, I saw Shamim he was both interesting and he had the ability to actually have some producerial chops.
Gotcha.
So,
Very nice, man.
And now, can I tell you all the things he did to make me want to have a heart attack?
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it.
Shamim, go. Shamim, what was the stuff that was the most stressful for us?
He's just silent for this part. There you go. He's pleading the fifth, man.
I think his son's in the car too, so that might be
Gotcha.
So
I could probably list it all just for my own experiences.
I would love to hear.
Mom.
No, it's okay.
No, it's about you and Scott here. All right. Explain the.
I'm not explaining.
Okay.
I'm just.
So the heart attacks I gave Scott are not listening to him. First off. Second off, I think I'm an airhead.
I never said
What's
I would never say.
What's an airhead?
You never say it, but you can.
What's an airhead to you?
It's like someone who has an ego.
No, that's not an airhead.
Yeah, it's not airheads like, oh, what? That's an airhead.
Somebody who doesn't know what they're talking about.
No, sometimes we challenge because Shamim has certain he's a dog with a bone. And I mean a big dog. I mean, this is trying to get Shamim out of a convention when it's time to leave.
I imagine, man.
And standing at people's lines while they have lines behind him and having them sign all sorts of things. And like Thomas, who is very close to Shamim, Thomas Nichols.
Nicholas.
Sorry, Thomas E. Nicholas. I basically was saying to me, Shamim, the guy's got, this is his job. There's a big line before them. And Tom's like, don't worry about it.
And then see Andrew Nelson.
And there are people like that who he attracts. Generally, I think anytime I meet a Shamim friend, including you, Mr. Max, I know that they're nice people.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually, man. Shamim just attracts positive people.
Yeah.
That's a very good point.
I think so. Yeah, we've not met really anyone on our list
except
that's been.
Lufrino.
Yeah, but he wasn't wanting to be friendly to you. So that wasn't really. He had no interest at all being.
My first celebrity encounter.
You know what? That's a lot of steroids, by the way. And I will deny I said that in court. Go ahead. You were saying.
So Max, my first celebrity encounter. Let's even guess this. It's not who you think it is.
What was it, Lou Ferrigno? No,
no.
It's anyone in the world.
Who was the first
Can you guess from anyone in the world?
Right, that's fine. You spent years getting to know people and befriending countless people who have been on the big screen. What is it like now that you're having the chance to be on the big screen yourself? How does that make you feel?
A little nervous, anxious. I don't know what the film's gonna perceive in the end. All I know is it's just how I see the film is I bring people together, and this is like a inclusion movie. It's basically an inclusion movie. Every walk of life gets a part in it, no matter how long it is. I go like I interview Rich, Scott's former business partner, and now Rich is in the film. We get a llama in the film.
Basically, interviewing everybody he's ever met. Speaking of which, by the way, I'm not.
The movie's 7 hours long.
That's what we said.
9 hours.
I said 9 hours. We did a 9-hour cut.
So basically, now I just want something that people can enjoy. Hopefully, enjoy. Hope I don't get hate out of this.
You're getting everybody gets haters when you're online.
Yeah, man. You're all good.
Yeah. So basically,
so many haters.
So the trailer is now at 990. It's almost to 1,000. 9 more views. Let's get to 1,000.
I think we've gone off track on you, buddy.
And Scott, one last question before we get in and wrap this up, man. What is the ideal release date for The Autograph King, and how is this film going to be distributed for you guys next year?
So yeah, I'm hoping that we finish in January. Depending on what happens with the film, we'll make a decision whether we should do some sort of festival route or not. But at the same time, we're also thinking about doing a Blu-ray, which would probably pre-sales would probably start in December, and that would come out probably late January. And that's gonna have the movie and all sorts of extras. That's why I miss Blu-rays myself.
Yeah, of course.
I miss DVDs. Extras. People love extras.
I love supporting physical media here, man. We've been very pro to that here at Galaxy of Film since the start. But that sounds awesome, man. That sounds incredible. Shamim, I know you've been very excited to go ahead and work on this project further and further. And I'm so happy to see, you get the recognition you deserve with this, man. It's gonna be incredible to see, your project brought to life, both of you. I can't wait to see it. But
yeah, so Max, you're definitely coming to the premiere. Now we gotta get how do we get The Autograph King in your premiere, in your screen film festival?
That's gonna be awesome, man. Truly, I can't wait for it. It's gonna be, we're having a great time with this, dude. Like I said, especially with your film stuff going up, you got Novex popping out, but now if you got this going too, you're just all over the place, bro.
It's the year of Shamim.
The year of Shamim. There you go. Instead of your Luigi from Nintendo, now it's your Shamim. Shamim's gonna make 1.5 billion in the box office like Luigi. Yeah, there we go. Well, I think it's going to go ahead and wrap it up for this week, guys. Shamim, it's always great getting you on here, brother. It's always great having you behind the scenes of us here at Galaxy of Film. Where can our listeners find you if they don't follow you already, brother?
They can follow me at Shamim's Autographs on Instagram.
And Scott, it's been great getting you on here as well, man. We've been talking about doing this episode for quite some time now. Where can our listeners find you? Where can they find the Rem Lezar Blu-ray that's out now? And where can they, stay tuned for Autograph King updates? Okay,
gotcha. RemLezar.com is it's our Facebook page. There's something called Rem Lezar Clubhouse, and but I forget Rem Lezar. It's on Amazon. Go buy it. You'll love it. Email me. By the way, you'll love it, and I don't know why.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And also a special shout out to Shamim's mom for making a surprise appearance here in this episode. Can't forget her. Thank you for coming on to the podcast.
That's what made the footage so good, right?
Absolutely.
The interaction between
I think that's here too. Hey guys. No, he's home.
There we go. And Shamim's dad.
Dad.
And for our listeners, be sure to go ahead and stay tuned, guys. Obviously this week here on LFG, we also dropped an episode talking about the Marvels, hosted by Brandon. Next week, Jake is dropping Awards Bait episode 5. And also go ahead and check out my short film, No Vex, that I did with our buddy Tyler here at Galaxy of Film. And also check out the GoFundMe for my next film, Goonies in Agony. We've been getting some traction on that, making some great progress while it's in pre-production. And we can't wait to shoot it next month. So link down below to all those.
Oh, sorry.
But thank you so much for listening, guys. Stay tuned for next week. We're talking some Hunger Games. For our listeners, thank you so much for sticking around and listening this week. Be sure to check us out next week to talk some Hunger Games with us live, all on Galaxy of Film Live on the YouTube channel. And if you enjoy the show, please consider leaving us an iTunes, Spotify review. We truly does help out the show much more than you can imagine. And we'll talk to you guys next week. Bye, guys.
After that.
Oh, this was a Galaxy of Film production.
Building what?